already proven to yourself that you can be in a flow state even when you're single. There is a project that you're working on. You're telling yourself, it's okay. I don't need anybody's validation. I'm sitting down here completing this project by myself when nobody's watching. You're telling yourself that you're good enough when nobody's there. You're saying that I can still be in a flow state when I don't want to. There's a couple of different layers to you. There's that one layer of you that's driven, that will get things done no matter what. And then there's that one layer of you that says that I need some rest. What if both of these together would complement who you are? Your anterior cingulate cortex gets relief from the constant hypervigilance. Your anterior cingulate cortex is a part of your brain that says that I don't want to do it. You could think about it like a muscle in the brain that you might need to isolate at times. I don't want to do it. I'll just do it anyway. And then when I'm doing something all the time, maybe I'll purposely rest. You know how people say, keep going, you got this, be strong. I don't believe in all of that. I want to stimulate my mind. I want to reduce the hit on my amygdala. I want to activate the prefrontal cortex. And when I do feel like deactivating the prefrontal cortex, I want to be able to do it on purpose. It's like interval training for the brain. When you purposely take that time from your driven self to your peaceful self, on your days on, you'll be even sharper. I'm going to read off some definitions of flow state versus sacrificial state. The flow state is when external alignment happens. For example, in my case, like speaking gigs, the consecrated speaker reel, the need for comfort vanishes because you have been carried by purpose. Let's say you're playing a video game. Boom, all of a sudden you are in some big flow state when you figure it out. You're playing basketball. You're in a flow state. You're playing pickleball. You're in a flow state. You're singing. You're in a flow state. You're learning something new. Let's say even sewing. My mom was in a flow state then. What happens here is that you have the steady state of serotonin where you're validating yourself. As an example, you can see my speaker reel. It's going to be the main video on the website. It's about 6 minutes and it took me almost 300 hours to complete. And I was in a complete flow state. My dopamine was elevated just like this, but steadily though. And it was designed by purpose. I want to feed the poor, purify their water with the speaking engagements that I make, with the YouTube revenue that I get. What that does is that allows me to complete this mission, vision, purpose, wherein I feel this steady alignment with myself. But what about when you're in a sacrificial state? I'll read that off to you. A sacrificial state when there's no external reward. You pound out videos, structure your health, and accept discomfort as consecrated offerings. As an example, you're like, I don't feel like doing it. Well, that's a sacrificial state. Let's say you have a child, there's a job, somebody depends on you at work, you have a friend, a family member. Let's say you have a mission, vision, purpose. You volunteer. I've been to Haiti multiple times. I want to go back. Those are things that's where your sacrificial health becomes paramount to you achieving what you want when you don't want to. But when are you going to be bestowed? This flow state is like the big question. That's what I've asked God. I'm like, when am I going to be bestowed this state again where I am forcing myself to relax? I'm forcing myself to eat and I'm enjoying myself without substances, without alcohol, which I was addicted to, cocaine, marijuana, gambling, multiple people, complaining, blaming, being narcissistic, talking bad about others, communicating with people who are talking crap about others. I'm not doing any of that. You think I just got here? I had to spend years by myself to be this sovereign. I had to spend years by myself by writing to be in emotional freedom. And when you get there, that's when it becomes really scary. How are you going to stay there is the question. You got to remain here. And this concept, mind hygiene, there will be a link in the description to a mind hygiene PDF. I feel that it works 70% of the time. Now you're here in nature, you got about a 30% reduction. You're here with your dog, another 30% reduction, reduced anxiety. You're writing, reduced anxiety. You're inspiring somebody. What is that? The 9th step in AA, where you pay it forward. That's the only thing that's keeping me alive is inspiring others and holding myself accountable at the same time. And the more you sacrifice, the more you give up. For example, when I gave up complaining, I was granted the ability to live in monastic solitude. I did have alcohol as a friend, and then I had cigarettes as a friend, and then I had a sober group as friends. And then after that, I have my dog as a friend. And then what I did, I didn't have all of these things before. I didn't know what nature was. I never came out here when I was drinking. I was too busy going to the store and watching TV shows and just, doing things that were not within my core values. And then when I gave up sugar, I was blessed with reading all of these audiobooks where I learned more about financial consecration, financial freedom. Consecration is a state where you have surrendered to your higher purpose. You've said, God, look, or whatever that looks like to you, nature, God, creator, higher power, you're saying that there's more to life. Give me the tools that I need. I will sacrifice and say no to sugar, and you give me this. I'll say no to complaining, and you give me this. But I'll say no all the time. I'm not going to take time off of it. I'm going to keep on trying until I get there, though. I'm going to say no 1 second at a time. And that's what mind hygiene is. It reduces those hits on the amygdala by at least 70% if you combine all of these every day. If you found value in this video, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it with those that might need it, and share us comments on how you maintain a flow versus a sacrificial state. Namaste.